Another Bendy and the Ink Machine theory? You betcha! Hey yo Prodigies, ProdCharles here, and in this video I'll be sharing with you a Bendy and the Ink Machine theory. This one will explain the mystery of the creator. If you would like more horror game theories, remember to subscribe and tap that bell, as on top of the many theories I've already made, there will be more to come. And just before we begin, if you can't watch this video all the way through right now, remember to tap Add To and select Watch Later to save your progress. Or just do it for fun. Let's start with what we know. We know that there are messages written in ink splattered on the walls of Joey Drew's cartoon studio. We also know that the workers at the studio have taken part in rituals to appease gods. Joey Drew is considered an authority on animation, and the one who drew, Bendy. And finally, the encounter between Henry and Sammy in Chapter 2 provided evidence that Bendy may be seen as a deity or god in the studio. Got all those facts? Now let's bring it all together. Throughout the studio, many strange cryptic messages are splattered across the walls. Of all of the messages, the most striking one to date has been "The creator lied to us." It's been so controversial that even a song was made around it. But who is the creator? ProdCharles, you might say. Come on, man. The creator is obviously Joey Drew! !1! Lenny. Just chill out for a sec, Lenny. Relax. Some prodigies do believe that this message refers to Joey Drew as being the creator, and that these messages were all written by the cartoons that were brought to life by their traitor of a creator. Some even go so far as to say that Bendy wrote all of these messages. And it makes sense. We've seen what happened to Boris the Wolf, and all the pieces fit together. The 3D cartoons were being tortured by Joey Drew, and they rebelled against him. Easy. But don't forget one very important fact. In Chapter 2, we see more of these messages written on the walls, and they mimic what Sammy Lawrence says in his audio cassette recordings. This would lead us to believe that Sammy Lawrence wrote all of these messages instead, and whoa, since we have seen in other theories that Sammy may have been snooping around the upper floors to get Henry to fix the ink machine, and that he believes Bendy to be some kind of deity, not to mention that there were rituals performed at the studio to appease the gods. Maybe it's Bendy who is the real creator here. We've heard from the recordings of Wally Franks and Norman Polk that Sammy and Joey in particular are very strange characters. We also know that Sammy and Joey both have their own sanctuaries, so it's possible that Joey, like Sammy, tries to act like a prophet for Bendy. This falls in line with the other plot points we've come across so far, as Joey Drew requested each worker to donate an item to perform rituals based around the ink machine. If the workers believe or are forced to believe that Bendy is a god and that gods are agents of creation, then it makes sense that Bendy would be seen as a creator by the likes of the devout Sammy and Joey, thus explaining these cryptic messages. This may also explain the ink minions as being the creations of Bendy to do their bidding, and gives a whole new dimension to the fan songs by DAGames and Kyle Allen, of which instrumental versions were used in the Chapter 2 release of the game. Yes, I know you guys are going to point out the lyrics of those songs, so I'm acknowledging them in this theory, but remember, they were instrumentals. They were used instrumentally. That being said, Sammy's recordings seem to suggest that Bendy is some kind of mighty savior, but were these recordings made in honest praise? Or in deceptive fear? What do you think? Remember to subscribe and tap that bell for more interesting horror game theories and secrets. If you love horror game theories, be sure to check the description for a link to all of the theories and secrets, and prodigies, I really hope that these series help you to expand on how you think, so it can help you with how you go about your thinking in your daily lives. See ya!